Hello and welcome to my pumpkin coaster tutorial. Let's get started. I'm using Stylecraft Special Chunky in the colour Spice and some Caron Simply Soft in brown and green because these are just what I had lying around. I'm using a 4mm hook instead of Stylecraft's recommended 6mm because with it being a coaster I want my stitches close together. First, we need to make a magic circle, so lie the yarn across your palm with the tail at the bottom and wrap the working end around your finger like so. So this is the working end and the tail in your palm there. Insert the hook under that first loop and use it to grab the second one and pull it through. Then grab that working tail again and pull it through to make a chain. So now we have our magic circle there with a chain one at the top and our tail end there. We're going to be working in US double crochet, so add a second chain. You can see I've got chain one on the bottom there and then chain two above it. And that's going to get us to the correct height for working US double crochet or UK treble. So yarn over, insert the hook into the middle of the magic circle, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you should have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, so now you'll have 2 again, yarn over and pull through those 2. Do the same again, yarn over, hook into the magic circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our first 2 double crochet. You want to continue doing that around until you have 12 double crochet in total. So I'm just finishing mine up here. It's number 12. Then find the tail end of the yarn from the circle there, and I like to unravel mine a bit. Give it a pull and that'll close that magic ring up. To join the round, want to find our chain 2, so that's that first chain and then the second one above it, and we'll be working into the one next to that, the top of the first double crochet that we made, and you want to work under both of those loops. So insert the hook into that stitch under both loops, yarn over and pull the loop through, and then pull it straight through again to do a slip stitch and pull it nice and tight. Our next round will be double crochet again, so chain 2 or treble crochet if you're using UK terms. Yarn over and work a double crochet into that same stitch that we chained from. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to be doing an increase now, so we're going to add a second double crochet into that same stitch. So now we have the chain 2 at the start, which doesn't count as a stitch, so we can ignore that. And then we have 2 double crochets worked into that one stitch, so we've increased from 1 to 2. And we're going to do that all the way around, putting 2 double crochets in each stitch, so that we increase from 12 to 24 stitches. Now I'm finishing my round here, that's number 23 and 24. I'm going to do the same again to join this round, find our chain 2. Can be a bit tricky to see, but we've got the first chain right at the bottom there, then the second chain on top of it, and we'll be doing our slip stitch into this stitch here, the top of the first double crochet that we worked, going under both loops. Insert the hook, yarn over and pull through, and pull straight through again for the slip stitch, and remember to pull it nice and tight. Chain 2 again to get up to the height for working US double crochet, UK treble crochet. Yarn over and work a double crochet into that same stitch that we chained from. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. This time we aren't going to add an increase to this stitch, so our second double crochet will be in the next stitch along instead. And the increase this time will be the third double crochet. We're going to work that third one into the same stitch as the second one. So this time, each multiple of 3 is going to be the increase stitch. So that's double crochet number 4 and the next one along, and then number 5, and then the multiple of 3, number 6, is the increase worked into the same stitch as number 5. Might sound a bit confusing, but if we take a look, here is our chain 2 from the start, which doesn't count as a stitch, so we can ignore that. Then we have our first double crochet worked into our first stitch, then double crochet 2 and 3 worked together into the next stitch, so 3 is the increase, then double crochet number 4, and then 5 and 6 both in the next stitch, so that 6 is the increase. And keep working around like that, where each multiple of 3 is the increase stitch, and this way we're going to increase from 24 to 36 stitches. Coming to the end of my round now, so that's 35, and the increase 36. Same again, to join the round, we're going to find the chain 2 from the start. There is our chain 1 at the bottom and the second chain on top, and we'll be slip stitching into that next stitch along the top of the first double crochet we worked, and remember to go under both of those loops. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull straight through again. Pull your slip stitch nice and tightly. For the next round, we're going to be working in US half double crochet, UK half treble crochet, so this time we'll only chain 1 at the start of the round. Yarn over, insert the hook into that same stitch and pull up a loop. So now you've got 3 loops on your hook, but this time we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 at once to make our half double crochet or half treble crochet for UK. Work the second half double crochet into the next stitch, and work the third half double crochet into the next one, because this time we're going to be increasing on multiples of 4. So the fourth half double crochet will be worked into the same stitch as the third, so that we have our first half double crochet there, then our second, then our third and fourth in the same stitch. Keep working around like that, so that each multiple of 4 is the increase stitch, and usually this would mean we would be increasing from 36 stitches to 48, but we're going to stop after stitch 46 because the end of this round, will be a bit different. So that's 46 there. This stitch here is the last stitch of the previous row and would usually be where I would work my final 2 stitches, my last increase, 47 and 48, but instead I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into that last stitch. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through and pull straight through again and pull it nice and tight, and this way we create a little bump at the bottom of our pumpkin. So now you can cut the yarn, leaving a tail end to weave in later. I like to just pull that yarn tail through at the back to help secure it and just keep it out of the way. And then you can see we've got a little bump at the bottom of our pumpkin. For the stump, I need to add the brown yarn, so I find that dip at the bottom and work my way up the centre line all the way to the top to try to find the middle 2 stitches, and then I think those are the centre 2, and because I want my stump to be 4 stitches wide, I move 1 stitch over to the right, insert my hook so I know where I'm going, pull the yarn through. I like to tie it on with a knot just to help keep it nice and secure. Move that yarn tail over to the left side there, insert the hook, pull up a loop, then chain 2 because we're going to work in US double crochet again, yarn over, do a double crochet into that same stitch, working over that yarn tail. That's going to help secure it so there's less weaving in later. Then into that next stitch, do 2 double crochet, so yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Hopefully don't get your yarn caught like I did. Then add the increase. Do the same into the next stitch, 2 double crochet, still working over that tail end. Then into the 4th stitch, do 1 double crochet. And to make it symmetrical with the first part of the stump, we're then going to chain 2 and slip stitch into that same stitch. So insert the hook, pull it through, and pull straight through again. Pull it nice and tight, and we have our stump. So you can go ahead and cut that yarn too. Once again, I just like to pull that through to the back. And it's time to work on the vine. Using the green yarn, you can attach it either end, but I like to work from the left. So I insert my hook into the same stitch that I just finished the stump in, pull that yarn through and tie it on with a knot. Get those tail ends out of the way. Insert the hook and pull up a loop. Try not to make it too big and loose, you want it quite small, because then we're going to chain 20. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep going. Here's my chain of 20. Now I want to work 1 half double crochet into that 20th chain. So to do that, I need to make 1 turning chain. This here is my turning chain, and this is the chain I'll be working into. So yarn over, insert the hook into that 20th chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We'll be working increases on each multiple of 3 again, so our second half double crochet will go into that next chain along, and then the third half double crochet will go into that same stitch. So the third half double crochet is the increase. Keep working along like that with the increases on each multiple of 3. So we're increasing from our chain of 20 to 30 half double crochet. So I just have 1 chain left to work into. I've got 28 half double crochet, and my last increase, stitch 29 and 30, will be into that chain there. So there's 29 and 30. Now you can see it doesn't look very well attached here, it's sort of hanging off the end. So to fix that, to make it a bit more secure, we're going to just slip stitch into that same stitch. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull straight through again and pull that slip stitch nice and tight. Then you can go ahead and cut that green yarn as well, leaving a tail to weave in. You can see it's much more secure now. And once again, pulling that yarn tail through to the back. I like to take a pencil and use that to help shape the vine into a nice curl. And all that's left now is to weave in those loose ends. So I use a yarn needle, start with the orange, And to make sure that my ends don't come loose, I like to find a row where I can see those long double crochet stitches, the sort of pillars, and then I'll insert my needle sort of over and under those pillars of the double crochet stitches in one direction. Then I'll turn and do the same back along in the opposite direction. And I'll do that a couple of times, so then I'll work down into the next row and go along, weaving it over and under a couple of those stitches, and then over and under in the opposite direction before I cut the tail off. For the stump, I do similar. I just sew through until I get to a place where it's quite easy for me to find those stitches to work over and under in one direction, turn it around and work back the opposite way. And then I like to just turn it again just to make sure it's nice and secure. Same for the green yarn. This can be a little bit more fiddly because of the curl in the vine, but you just need to sew it on there, find a row where you can work your way over and under some of those stitches. It can be a little bit hard to see this part. There we are, over and under. Do a couple more in that direction. Then turn it and work back along the opposite way so that it's not going to come loose. I repeat this for all the other ends, and I'm just finishing up the last one there, so I've worked it along one way and back the other. Now I'm cutting it off and it's all done. So just going to take that pencil, get that nice curl shape back again, and the pumpkin coaster is all finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Here are some other places you can find me.